Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Amber. Today we're going to talk about my favorite plants from 2024 and my plant goals for 2025. And we're going to do updates on the plants and the goals, see if I accomplish them or not. So let's get started. Number one on my list is my Thaumatophyllum bipinnatophytum. I said that right. Okay, anyway, here's a clip last time, and here it is now. I don't think like it looks a whole lot different. It is bigger, I'll give it that. Yeah, so it is bigger now, has some more, oh my gosh, roots hanging out of the pot than it did before. I didn't catch those in time, they just kind of popped out of the top, interestingly. So yeah, this guy is still going strong. I don't know if it's my number one favorite anymore, but I do still love it. Yeah, so really not a lot of updates on that one. But number two is my Monstera deliciosa, and I'm gonna have to go. If you recall, in my video before, it looked like this, and I think it's grown quite a bit. Here we go. So it just gave me this new leaf right here. I think it is absolutely stunning. And this is after the repot. And the repot, I put it on this pole right here. And I think it went down in leaf size and without fenestrations. Let's see, this was the previous leaf. It went up in size, I guess, from this one. You see that? So, yeah, all in all, I think my Monstera is doing really well. I'm really happy with what it looks like now, and it's actually getting big. And the reason I bought this one before was because my last one was doing nothing. So I'm going to show you that one. A piece of it is right here. This is its newest leaf, and look how tiny and sad it is. I don't even think it's going to get a whole lot bigger than that. So this is what was right here before in my last video. It's a little bit bigger. I put it outside one day and it got a little bit of a sunburn, so that's what that is. Yeah, it's just still not maturing very well. I'll give it some more time. If I had to downsize my collection, this would be like one of the first to go. Well, maybe not, because it's in my bedroom where there's no other plants. But yeah, it's just, I don't know if it has good genetics. I've had this plant for years, and I mean, look at the video of what it looked like before. It barely looks any different, and it's been like 8 months. So yeah, still kind of a disappointment. All right, I'm gonna put these plants away and I'll be right back. All right, so the next plant on my list is my Hoya Crimson Princess. And it is still kicking, still looking amazing. And yes, this is a Crimson Princess. It is just heavily reverted. Here's some of the oldest leaves. They're on their way out though, so before long it'll just be fully green. But it bloomed! Look at that! Isn't that gorgeous? They smell like Tootsie Rolls. Yeah, Tootsie Rolls or dusty chocolate. One of the two. And it has, let me see if I can find it. Where'd the other peduncle go? There it is. It has another peduncle working in the works. And I didn't think I was going to get blooms for this guy because, you know, it had a bunch of peduncles, and then I went on a 2-week vacation and they all blasted because it got too dry. Obviously, I've already gotten blooms, so really happy with this guy. Yeah. And if you want to see previous video, it's kind of backlit. That's why I pulled it out of the window. It usually lives in a window, so it's hard to film. But I'm going to put it back real quick. Next on the list is my Hoya pubicalyx Purple Hawaiian, I think. And it is a beast, and it grew all of this this year, all this stuff, and I feel like it's really filled out substantially. There's the back, it's kind of one-sided, but oh my gosh, look how big. Let's see if I can show you. Look at how big that leaf is. It's as long as my hand. Yeah, this guy has given me some truly massive leaves. It's so pretty. I think there's another big one over here. Yeah. Look how big these are. So I just adore this plant, and it has the most beautiful dark new growth. I just absolutely love it. So hasn't bloomed, no peduncles that I've seen. Oh wait, I want to show you this leaf. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's like a half and half. But yeah, this plant is gorgeous. I'm in love with it, but it hasn't bloomed, and that was my goal. So we're still working on that one, but someday. All right. Next. I gotta get it. So sad I just knocked off this big leaf while I was putting it away. But I just love how firm the edges are. Like, it's such a solid leaf. Love it. Anyway, next plant on our list is I'll show you the pretty side. This is my Hoya australis, and we'll put video in of it last time. It looked okay, but it was pretty sparse along the top, so it has grown in quite a bit, but I don't know. I'm not as in love with this plant as I wanted to be at this point. Like, I thought, like, once it grew in at the top, I'd be like, yeah, I love it. But then I got the Hoya australis Lisa, and I think I love that one more. So I'm trying to decide if I should kind of chop this guy up and start it over again, and maybe put it on a real trellis, because it's kind of wonky. I think I don't like that. I wish it was more round. Yeah, so a little of a disappointment there. So I don't know. And all of the cuttings that I have that I had in the previous video were rehomed. And now we're going to move on to my next favorites, and we're going to start with terrariums. This is my Peperomia prostrata terrarium, and if you recall in the first video, look at how absolutely itty bitty it was. It was just like a couple strands, and now look. This thing is massive. It totally took over. And in the middle I do have a Christmas cactus cutting that I should pull out. It's probably pretty well rooted at this point. But I am so happy with this terrarium. Grown a ton. I'm in love. Okay, and if you recall last time, yeah, let's just do this. The video, we had ZZ propagations in this little guy. But now we have just a whole bunch of, what is this, Philodendron verrucosum cuttings. They're doing okay. This is not my favorite propagation. I kind of want to just like give these to somebody at some point. Maybe I'll put them on Facebook, but because I have a lot of verrucosum right now. So, and the ZZ cuttings, I potted them up and gifted them, so they're gone. But yeah, cute. Check out video of my really big terrarium. It looked really good then, and it looks different, but still good now. Here is my big terrarium right now. It has moss growing in here. Lots of moss. Let's get it open. So inside we have Philodendron verrucosum, and it's going nuts. Has some serious aerial roots going on. It's really happy in here with all the humidity. And then, let's see, we have 3 different Sansevieria. I think they are, let's see, Moonshine, Black Coral, and this one is the Futura Superba, maybe? I don't know. But I don't know if you can see in there, this one is growing a little pup. I'm so excited about that. And the other things in here are Varicosum, Peperomia, Prostrata, Peperomia obtusifolia, and a little piece of Hoya curtisii. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Just leave it in here, I guess. Yeah, it's just so pretty. I love it. I love having this as my propagation vessel. I mostly just forget about it, but here is my little moss terrarium. It has seen better days. It looked way better in that first one. I forgot to water it. I was like, oh, it's in a terrarium, it doesn't need water, but it did. But it's recovering, it's coming back, it's starting to grow and turn green again, so not the best update there, but it's still kicking. Okay, so camera died for a sec, and if you hear noise, it's my air conditioner is way too hot to not have it on, so sorry. Last up is this terrarium. If you recall what was in it previously, a bunch of mostly dead stuff. So now we have a whole bunch of Monstera adansonii cuttings, and if you see mold, it's mosquito bits. Yeah, it's just the mosquito bits, but these are already starting to root and sprout, and they've been in here for like a week. So yeah, really happy with this one. It's just sitting in the back corner right there. So we'll put it back. And that is all as far as terrariums go. I do have a new one which I'll show you very soon. So now begonias. Alright, if you recall, this is what this looked like previously, and I potted everything together. So this is what it's looking like right now. That's the back. Here's the front. But it looks super good. It's in this big pot we got from Walmart. But yeah, it isn't giving me the really big leaves like it was yet, but I had it in a lower light situation and I just barely recently put it back on the shelf, so I should start to get some bigger leaves soon. But yeah, not a lot of update on this guy, but it's still kicking. Next up was my begonia. What is it? Just Rex begonia. If you know the name of this, could you let me know? Because I don't know the name of this one. Ooh, that's dirty. But it is growing like crazy. Look at it. It is finally growing back and growing well. We have 2, what are they called? Rhizomes? Yeah. We have 2 rhizomes in here that have sprouted. There's 1 and 2. So once this, I don't know, puts on a little bit more growth, it's looking really good. I'm gonna start transitioning it out of this after it grows a bit more. Clean the top of that, that's dirty. Oh, it's like algae. Ew. I wiped on my pants. Gross. But yeah, so this guy is looking really good, and I'm pretty happy with it. And since it's growing and I figured out that they just need really high humidity, I want to get a begonia amphioxus. Like, that's like my dream begonia at the moment, so yeah, I'm gonna try to get that. Last begonia is my big one. It lives right here. I don't know if you can really see it. Remember the video from before. It was a bit smaller. I think it was only like up to here, roughly. Yeah, no, it was up to here, because that's how big the pole was. So it was up to there. So it was quite a bit shorter. And this guy, I took it to the shower this week, not a super stable plant. I took it to the shower this week and because it was super dusty, and I'm not interested in wiping every individual leaf because they're so thin. I feel like that'll just break them all. But this was the top, and it's touching the ceiling. Like if you attach almost to the ceiling, if you attach these back onto where it was, it'd be touching the ceiling right now. So this is my latest cuttings because I broke it. It was so sad. It was in the shower, and then let's see if I can show you. It's supported. It has a support stake to about right here, and that's where it broke right here. So yeah, it was in the shower, and the whole thing just, the whole top just flopped. It snapped off. So yeah, it would be much taller right now, but let me see if I can show you this. This leaf is so massive. I'm so impressed with this specific leaf right here. It's so huge. It's like, yeah, absolutely massive. And I think this is a Begonia Lady Vanderbilt. I did a lot of looking around online, like trying to figure out what this one was, and it was between Lady Vanderbilt and another one I can't remember the name of right now. I'll insert it. It was between those two, and I think it's this one, but I could be wrong. This is just a guess. I got this plant a while ago from somebody in town, so who knows? Who knows what it is? But I love it, and it's still just growing like a weed, and now it's giving me these really, really big leaves again. I'm so excited. So, and I'll be potting all the stuff that broke off back into the bottom of this. So stay tuned for an even bigger plant of this in the future. So if you recall, my Raven ZZ, last time I filmed this, it looked really good. I loved it. And then I put it outside and almost killed it. And now, in its current iteration, I'll show you. I just repotted it into this gorgeous arrangement. It's in a huge pot. So there's the ZZ on the side. It has a bunch of nice new growth on it. And we have a Sansevieria Moonshine and this Peperomia obtusifolia. But look, all this new growth it plumped up and it's looking really good. I'm really happy with how this plant looks right now, and I think it looks really pretty in this arrangement. It just gives it like a depth of color, you know, like this arrangement would look too light without. Recording? Recording? Is everything recording? Yes. Yes. Okay. So next on my favorites list was my Monstera Thai Constellation, and if you recall, it was tiny little thing. Just I got it as a pretty small plant, and yeah, it's grown a ton. I recently repotted it and put it on a moss pole in a video, if you saw that, and look how big it is, and look at this leaf. This leaf is absolutely stunning. I love this section of mint. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. The previous leaf wasn't bad, but it got a little dehydrated, and these variegated parts kind of they just didn't turn out really well. But overall, this plant is, yeah, still one of my favorites. I'm really, really enjoying it. Oh my gosh, I literally just repotted this. Look at that root. I seriously repotted this a few days ago. Okay, this thing grows fast. I don't get why people complain that they grow slow, because mine grows like a weed. All right, and then last but not least, you'll recall my Anthurium Blue Velvet and Crystallinum Cross. Right now, it has grown immensely. It's most recent leaf, and it's just about fully hardened. And it is, I don't know, like bigger than my head. Head check test. Has a new leaf coming in right here, and then it has a new leaf right here, but this is the smallest. There's 3 plants in here, and this is the smallest one of the 3, so this isn't gonna get very big. It's all, I mean, yeah. But oh my gosh, I think this leaf is probably gonna get this big, at least. But I absolutely love this plant. It is so velvety. Look at how pretty these leaves are. They're so velvety, and they have this like bluish tone to them. This blue tone, yeah. They're so pretty. And I really love how full this plant is, and there's 3 of them in here, so yeah, it makes sense that it's this full. But I need to repot it probably. But maybe if the next leaf after this big one is smaller, I'll repot it. It seems super happy. I don't want to mess it up, you know? You know? Okay. And that is it for my favorite plants from 2024. And we're going to move on to my plant goals and see what I have accomplished and what I haven't. So I think I did pretty good, but the year isn't over yet. All right, to start off with, you'll see my fiddle leaf fig. It was pretty tall and lanky, and I put a couple of those propagation orbs on it, on 2 of the branches, hoping to propagate those, but I don't know, it wasn't super successful. I chopped one of them off after it had quite a few roots, and it promptly died. I think maybe the cutting was too big, it didn't have enough roots. I don't know, I think it might need a pretty substantial root system to support the chunk that I had. So I only chopped one, the other one's still on there, but I think I'm going to chop that one next spring, so I still have a pretty full plant until next year. Because we're already getting, it's fall, the year's almost over, so I'm going to be bringing it inside here in like another month. But it did put on quite a bit of growth. It loves being outside, so I'll put some footage of it in here. I probably already am, of it from this year, and I think it looks great. So, yay! Alright, next up we have my Tradescantia zebrina. This is what it looks like right now. It is a pretty beastly large planter. This is like 6 months of growth. I'm gonna have to look back because I completely chopped it up and started this pot over with like top cuttings from the bottom of my previous plant, and this is a heck ton of growth for just this summer. I'm super impressed. So yeah, my plan was to take this outside, like do some hanging baskets outside. I did put some of it outside. I gave a ton of cuttings away to friends and family. God, did I give a lot away, because I chopped up almost that entire plant last year? No, the beginning of this year. I chopped up almost this entire plant, and I think I threw away the base, and this is all restarted. So I'm really impressed with this plant. I'll put some B-roll of what I did outside. So I did put a few pots outside around, and it draped down and looked really gorgeous and pretty. And then instead of doing the hanging baskets, I got 2 big Boston ferns and put those up, and I thought that was enough. It's not a big patio, and I didn't want to like overwhelm it. We still have to be able to walk through, you know? So I think I'm gonna restart this again in the spring, because why not? I mean, this is the best this plant has ever looked. It does have a lot of dead on the back right there, And the last plant had that too, but this one isn't as bad yet. I think by springtime it'll be bad again and I'll have to restart it. But yeah, this plant I think was a success, not necessarily in the way that I was thinking, but still successful. I think I already kind of showed you some of the patio. I had this idea to do like a complete patio makeover. I wanted to make it really planty and pretty. And I did, and I found the table just on the side of the road for free. So, score. And then the lamp was, I already had it, but I had thrifted it. And then we have like a little stove thing in the corner. So all of it just kind of came together. Most of those houseplants will be coming inside. I'm trying to decide if I want to bring the Boston ferns in or just get new ones for next year. It depends if I want to deal with the mess or not through the winter. Maybe I'll try it, and if I hate it, I'll just toss them. And then on the side, I have all of my elephant ear alocasias. Oh my god, this is the first time I've grown them. And I thought I was putting them out too late because I kind of like waffled and took my time, but then they've exploded. They're so happy. They're huge, like big leaves. I mean, they're gotten battered by the wind and branches and stuff, but they look amazing. And I kind of want to just bring them in, like at least one of them. Bring one of them inside for the winter. See how it does. It'll probably get super infested with spider mites. They look healthy outside. No bugs or anything on them. Just wind damage, like mechanical damage. So it might be a lot of plants to bring in the house. It's going to feel really cramped in the winter, so we'll see what the husband says. He'll probably say no, it's too much. I can't blame him. But yeah, I'm just really excited about those elephant ears. And the corms were like the biggest ones were like that big. They're big, so I wonder how much larger they've gotten. And they put off a ton of pups too, so I mean, I'm excited. I will probably make a video on winterizing those, so that's going to be exciting. Next up on my goals list is my Hoya macrophylla. Alright, as you recall, right here in the video, it was one leaf, and it had flat mites, and it was doing nothing. And so I killed the flat mites. I did it. I used sulfur and horticultural oil on it, I think. I just sprayed it like every single day. I was just like, fuck these guys, they're gonna die. And look at it now. It looks so good. I 100% achieved my goal with this plant. My new goal would probably be to propagate it. So cut it. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe here or here. Probably here. Probably cut it there and propagate these and then just fill in this pot and get a nice big, I don't know, next year's goals. I'm gonna let it finish growing for this year. Maybe. Maybe. I'm feeling scissor happy. So yeah, this guy, huge success. I'm really happy about this one. Yeah, and I did tear this little leaf when it was small. I feel real bad about it, but it's okay. And these leaves are not nearly as big as the last one, the original leaf, but it'll get there, right? Eventually? I hope so. We'll find out. Next up is my Philodendron squamiferum. Alright, now, if you recall, it was pretty tiny to begin with. It was on a singular moss pole, and it was probably, honestly, only as high up as this one, maybe a little lower. But this is its second moss pole. I chopped and propped it, so yeah, it's doing well. Ooh, I don't know if it's rooted into the pot yet, but hopefully. This is the newest leaf it's put out. It's a little bit smaller, but I did cut off quite a bit of the root system when I chopped and propped it. I think this is the largest leaf it has. So that's to be expected. I love this plant. It is so satisfying to grow, and I love these fuzzy petioles. They're just so interesting. I thought they'd be like fragile or something, but no. That stuff is, it's weird. It's weird, but I really like it. I feel like this plant is doing amazing. Alright, and this is the next plant on the list. If you recall, it was bigger than the Squamiferum, but still one moss pole, you know? So, I can't even really show you. Nope. So this down here was the original moss pole, and I just kept extending it. I didn't cut it. I found a spot for it, so I think this is the last time I'm going to extend it. I'm going to do a chop and prop next. So, oh, I want to show you these roots. Look at this. This is on the outside of the pole. This root goes all the way around. Like, this plant is nuts with roots. Like, there's another root right here and another root right here. Like, this plant has insane roots. And let's see, this is the newest leaf. This is the newest leaf. I think it's going to be pretty big. It's kind of funky shaped. Like, this one's a good example. It's kind of a funky shaped leaf. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it or not, you know? I don't know. It's growing really well, but I just don't know if I'm like a super big fan of it. Like, it's interesting. Oh, it touched the grow light right there. That's why it's burned. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about this plant. I'm not sure how I feel about this plant. It's neat and it's growing like a weed. I'm not sure. So yeah, but I mean, it's sitting on the floor. It's almost as tall as I am at the moment. So I just showered it off the other day, so it's pretty heavy and it's leaked all over my floor, so I'm gonna go put it back. Next up is my golden pothos. Looked like this. I recently repotted it. I tried to put a whole bunch of cuttings in the top to fill out the pot that I just put my ZZ in. Didn't work, so I pulled them all out and repotted it into a slightly smaller pot, like deeper pot. And then the cuttings I did actually put on a moss pole. Here are the cuttings from that video. You recall, they're just cuttings in a jar. But I ended up putting saran wrap on this guy, and it was in too small of a pot, and it wasn't, the pole didn't go down into the pot, so I ended up just repotting it off camera. So the pole goes all the way to the bottom. But like a couple days after I filmed that video, since I had saran wrap on the moss pole, it had already started to root into the pole. So, in like longer roots too. So, yeah. This guy is already rooting in. So I'm really excited to see what it does, how big it gets, you know? So, last of the moss poles is this Monstera Adansonii. It is slow. The cuttings were slow to root, and it's been slow to root into here. I don't think it's rooted at all yet, still. So I put it in higher light up on this grow shelf. It was in a lower light situation, so yeah, not a lot of progress here. So this one's still a work in progress. This is the last moss pole I'm going to talk about. This is my Philodendron verrucosum, and it is substantially better looking than it was in that first video. It was just a, if you recall, just like a piddly little stick. Freaking sad as all hell. My propagations worked, as you saw. I have some in terrariums, and this is what I have finally on a moss pole, and it is just barely starting to root in. So this guy is doing really well. I do have to keep this one for sure covered with the saran wrap because my house is really dry. Like there's just not a lot of humidity in here, even with all the moss poles and plants and all that. So it requires it, but it's doing well. Can't wait to see what it looks like next year. In that video, I also talked about putting grow lights in my dining room, like hanging them on the ceilings on like a track light system, and I did do that. I put Sansi grow lights in them, and yeah, the plants are growing amazing. Like you saw my Monstera, it's looking great. So I will put some B-roll. I mean, here is the video before of my dining room before. Like all the plants are just kind of small, whatever. And then here it is now. It's a jungle. I love it. It is so pretty. I think my kids get annoyed with the Monstera because they like to sit on that bench. But it's okay. You can just push it aside. That Peperomia prostrata I had that I wanted to repot, I did repot it. Yeah, here's the video of it before. It actually looked pretty decent in this video. And then I repotted it, and it went even more downhill. Most of it was rotted. And now thinking back, I think it had root mealies. I think this is my first time dealing with those, or knowingly having them. Yeah, because like the soil, like parts of the soil looked mold. Like there's this white mold growing in there. So in hindsight, I think it was root mealies. So yeah, it just continued to go further downhill, and it didn't quite die. It gave me a death inflow, but I tossed it. I threw it away. I still have the pot, but I tossed the plant. I just have it in that terrarium now, right there. So that's all I really need. It's fine. Maybe I'll try growing it in a pot again eventually, but he's dead. If you recall my video about my avocado tree, it was looking pretty cute then, aside from some chlorotic leaves. I did repot it into a faster draining soil. So it is repotted. It's doing well. It dries out at least once a week or more. But it is again giving me chlorotic leaves. I'm irritated by that, but I got some CalMag recently, and I just started. I think it's had 2 waterings. I watered it like yesterday, so it's had 2 waterings now with CalMag. So I'm hoping that solves the issue this time. This newest leaf right here is really looking nice, and that one's gonna look nice too. So I think that might have been the issue. I also have some silica coming, so I'm just going to try to give them everything they need, you know? And then at some point I'm going to chop this one specifically back because it has a pretty big lean. Ow, those are sharp. It has a pretty big lean, so I'm going to be chopping this guy down here somewhere, and then hopefully it'll resprout. And then after this one resprouts, I'm going to cut the next one. So just one at a time. But otherwise, this plant is doing pretty well. Hopefully it's not dying. I mean, it dries out pretty often, and it gets like bone dry really fast. So I don't know. Maybe it's drying out too fast now. But I don't want to repot it before winter because it's going to start slowing down, you know? So there's that one. And then next on my list, I had bonsai something, and I just talked about the avocado tree, and you know, snip, snippy, snippy, snip. All the trees get snipped because they're trees. So I can give you a jade plant update. Oh, this is gonna be heavy. Oh. This is my big jade. I did not do a very good job of pinching out the new growth. I just did it last night. So it's kind of bushy. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but it is growing. It's enjoying being outside. It has a lot of really big leaves in it, but yeah, it's doing okay. Working on the bonsaiing, but it looks like its stems are getting thicker and sturdier, so we're on the right path. That's just going to be a long-term. This is just a long-term plant, you know? And then I showed you a little bit of video about this jade. I think it's the Gollum jade. It has like the weird, or Shrek ear, or Gollum, one of the two. But it is growing pretty good. It has really, one of the stems is super thick. And it has bushed out really well this year. So I'm really happy with how this one's turning out. I do need to go through and like pinch off all that new growth. Get it to bush out some more. So yeah, gotta do it. You know, because yeah, it's just kind of growing really upright again. So yeah, I'll be working on that. And then the last plant on the list is my Aglaonema Silver Bay. And here is my video of it previously. The plan was to chop and prop it, and I did. So here is the original stem, and it's growing this new shoot. Took a long time to do it. I feel like this just barely popped out in like the last week. And then it kind of looks like there's something happening right there, but we'll see. And then this rooted pretty quick, and it's been giving me tons of new growth. Like, this plant looks amazing. It looks so good. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. So this is a success story, so I'll just keep going. Once a lot of these bottom leaves drop off, I'm going to chop and prop it again. So I'm just going to keep doing that to this little plant until I have a nice full big pot of it. So this one is a success, but I'm not done with it yet. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Send me a comment. I would love to know what you guys think or whatever. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.